The emotions right now after securing a UFC deal?
It's surreal, man. I've dreamed of this moment for the last 10, 15 years, and especially living it close with my teammates. All my teammates are in the UFC. I corner them to UFC events every week, in and out, every month, helping them train for UFC fights, and finally being one of them and being in the UFC with them, it's very surreal to me.
What's that feeling like? Obviously, I guess in one way it's an example, right? You know what you have to do to get there, but is it discouraging at all when you consider, see these people go on and you're still there?
It can be. It can be discouraging. I mean, how is it not? They're all in the UFC in the big leagues, and you're fighting for a lower organization. Everybody wants to be in the UFC, and the fact that I'm basically one of the only ones outside the UFC, it kind of discouraged me a little bit. But I knew with Coach Safe's help, I was going to get there eventually. I just had to be patient.
What was the feeling like in the build-up to this? Right, you get a change of opponent. Opponent misses weight. I mean, what's going through your mind as all that's kind of unfolding?
My mind was locked in the moment I took the fight, so it didn't matter if I got 3-4 opponent changes or my opponent missed weight by 5-10 pounds. I was going to take the fight regardless, and this was going to happen regardless of who it was or whether or not they made weight.
Nice. He had a kind of a decent start. I mean, obviously you got the job done pretty quickly, but I mean, how did the fight play out versus your expectations?
He did catch me by surprise, but I knew he was going to be a dog. I knew how good he was, how fast he was, how athletic he was. So I knew basically everything he was going to do, and he still caught me with a couple shots. That's how good he was. I knew he was a dog, and he kept coming forward. But he started getting a little reckless, and I knew he was going to have to pay. I'm a good counter fighter. I knew he was going to pay eventually if he kept coming like that, and he eventually did.
Nice. Did you know you were going to get the job done with your hands tonight? I mean, was that the plan coming in?
Yes, I knew I was going to get the job done with my hands regardless. I've been working for a finish for the last, 4 fights, and when I had him up against the cage, I felt like I could take him down, and I just didn't feel like it. I think he was getting the better of the stand-up at that point, and I didn't want it to end like that. I didn't want to take him down and finish it there. I wanted to stand up and show him that I was better than him.
Nice. And once you dropped him, I mean, do you remember a conscious thought of like, we're going to finish it now, right? Because if you gas out, if you use too much energy and it ends up being a 3-round fight, maybe it's trouble. Do you remember that kind of thinking, like, no, we're going to do it now?
The way the right hand landed and the way it felt when it landed, I knew I could get him out. So that I saw red and I knew I could get him out that second. I usually, when I drop people, I usually get their back and work my jiu-jitsu and my grappling. But once that right hand connected, I knew he was done.
So many people on your team have come through here, right? I mean, they've done this. Were they able to give you any advice or anything that you held on to that made this an easier process tonight?
Oh man, every single day just training with them. They're my best friends. They're like my family. And every single day at that gym, I learned something new, whether if it's from Steven Peterson, from Oz Johns, from Damon Jackson. The list goes on and on. Every single day, I learned something new from them. And it's learning something that they've been through in the recent years, They've been through this moment not too long ago. So yeah, of course, me and Miles Johns talked about this moment for a long time. Steven Peterson's been like my older brother, and he's walked me through all these moments, telling me how it's going to happen. It's like he knows what's going to happen before it happens. He told me, you're going to go out there, you're going to win, and then you're going to get signed. So, they've all just walking me through it.
That's awesome. Last thing for me, I guess, you got the job done tonight. So what's the next step? I mean, obviously it's the UFC debut, but, are you want to do it quickly? Do you need some time away? Is there a date you want to fight? Is there an opponent when you fight? What's next?
No, I mean, I'm ready to go by Monday. I'm going to go, spend some time with my family, clear some things up, and I'll be ready to go by Monday. I like to fight this year again. Of course, my dream would fight on any Brandon Moreno card, of course, with the Mexicans. I'd love to fight on one of his cards. So if I could get one of Brandon Moreno's cards, that'd be great. But, I mean, if I can, I'll be ready whenever. I'll be ready in 2-3 weeks, ready to go.
I think he's fighting in December, right? So does that December sound good?
I'll be ready to go by December for sure.
Fernie, felicidades con el triunfo. Un mensaje claro para la gente que te apoya desde Juárez a Texas hasta ahora en Las Vegas, que empieza tu carrera adentro del octágono.
Disculpa, ¿no te escuché, mande?
Felicidades con el triunfo. Un mensaje rápido nomás para la gente desde Juárez a Texas y aquí ahora en Las Vegas, que te va a apoyar, que comienza tu carrera dentro del octágono.
No, nomás que muchas gracias a todos los juarenses que me apoyaron. Duré mucho tiempo de mi niñez ahí en Juárez conviviendo con todos los juarenses y amo a Juárez, mucho amor para Juárez. Y yo también crecí en El Paso, Texas, también mucho amor para ellos. Y nada, nomás decir muchas gracias por todo por todo el soporte que me han dado.
Hablaste de alguien parte de tu equipo con Miles. ¿Qué te pudo decir él? ¿Qué te preparó para el momento? Que claro, no exactamente podemos ver en su bolita de cristal, pero ¿qué fue la ventaja de que él te pudo preparar para este gran momento de tu carrera?
Él fue el que me dijo que mi mano derecha tenía poder. La tiro sin mucho poder siempre. Tiro mucho volumen, mucho volumen sin poder. Y él fue el que me ayudó a agarrar más poder en esa mano derecha. Me enseñó unos trucos y cómo contragolpear con la mano derecha con más poder y la trabajamos mucho esta semana.
De acuerdo, man. Y sabes que hablando de esa recta, explícame un poquito de cuándo pudiste finalizarlo, porque cuando tiraste la mano derecha parece que lo bloqueó y con todo eso lo pudiste mandar a la lona, ¿o sí conectó atrás de su guardia?
Sí conectó abajo, atrás de su guardia, abajo de su oído en su equilibrio y fue muy dura. En cuanto conectó, perdió su balance y supe que lo podía terminar de ahí.
De acuerdo, y mencionaste a Moreno, claro, ahorita tenemos estrellas. Ortega acaba de retar por el título, peso pluma, tienes Irene Aldana de Guadalajara, Canelo en el boxeo, Brandon que agarró el título. ¿Cómo se siente ser parte ahora de esa familia dentro del UFC que tiene a Latinoamérica en lo más alto?
Pues encantado, yo encantado de representar a los mexicanos. Yo sabía que los mexicanos iban a venir a ese deporte y a hacer cosas grandes. Obviamente Brandon Moreno llegó y se convirtió en ídolo de un día a otro y ojalá seguir sus pasos de él.
De acuerdo, man, pues felicidades y buena suerte con todo.
Muchas gracias.